Well, we're about 3 minutes over. I kind of want to give it a couple more minutes just for other people. Please remember to add your name to the who joined and add any topics to the agenda. As usual, this call is being recorded and is subject to the Falco Code of Conduct. So if you're not okay with either of those things, please disconnect now. And if you don't have access to the HackMD, I will throw that in the chat. You can just log in through GitHub. It's not too painful. Okay, I think we can get going. This is the 2021 February 24th call. I'm your MC, Spencer Crum. Thanks everyone for signing in. If you haven't signed in yet, please sign in. This week's highlights. It's official now. Libraries and drivers source code have been contributed to the CNCF. So we'll open this little blog. Good job, everybody. Little signpost to let you know where everything's going. Like it. For anyone who hasn't been marinating in this world,
Loris freehanded that drawing himself.
and the truck.
Amazing work, Loris.
Exactly.
Some engineering questions about this truck, but at least it has safety blinkers. Good job, everybody. For anyone who hasn't been marinating in this space, there's code that retained, stayed with Sysdig even though Falco went open source and like open governance, and more code is joining. Does anyone want to talk specifically about this? Maybe Dan or Loris or somebody.
Loris,
we gave the summary when we talked about this to the community, but yes, essentially the kernel module, the eBPF probe, libescape, and libsense are now essentially copyright CNCF. This is essentially the full capture stack of Falco for system calls, but also it's at the base of, for example, open source Sysdig and other tools. In particular, the eBPF probe is, I don't know, probably over 10,000 lines of code of eBPF, which is pretty much unique. And it's, as far as we understand, not only the biggest, but the only true eBPF donation to the CNCF. So there's some firsts here, and I don't know, we're just excited. This is something that I've started, I spent, and I'm still spending a lot of time working on. Essentially, a lot of the secret sauce underneath Falco and other tools is in these libraries. And from one point of view, there's the perspective of the whole Falco stack now, and not only the engine and the tool are CNCF owned now. From the other point of view, this is a bunch of libraries that you can see as sort of the lead pickup for system calls, including the driver and the eBPF probe, and hopefully a bunch of cool tools are built on top of this, or at least I hope so. So I don't know. Well, I am personally very excited about this and to see what happens.
Me too. I just wanted to add one thing on top of what Loris said, if I can. in the post that I wrote with Grasso, we put also instructions for people that has pull requests opened on the diocese repo where the code lived before. So we think this can be useful to folks to move around pull requests. Clearly, move only pull requests not regarding the CLI, because the CLI remains in the diocese repository. And then we also outlined a plan for the future about these amazing lines of code. That's it.
Nice, thank you. This is a big step. Good job, everybody. Okay, so moving on to the agenda, whose item is the adoption survey? Is this Dan's?
Yeah, I got that one. So
Okay.
just as an FYI to everyone, we're looking at doing like a kind of sending a note out to folks, just being like, hey, what are you, because we see definitely a big uptick on Falco, obviously, and it'd be interesting to kind of do a survey and saying like, what are you using, those types of things, but also like just get a kind of a pulse to the adoption of Falco, because it's gained a ton of momentum, obviously, and by the virtue of everybody in this channel, and I think it's been great. And the other part of this too is we did a this is the next part, and this is what inspired it. It was the Sidekick outputs form was that, but I just think it'd be cool. I'm seeing like Crossplane, for instance, is doing an example. They're trying to go through incubation, using it as a way to kind of solicit the end user base about how they're using Falco, what feature sets that we should kind of as a community take a look at and get involved in. And then also just it's hard for somebody to do a pull, like a ton of folks to focus on doing a pull request or something for like Falco adoption, so trying to get it a pulse to the adoption of Falco. So thinking about kind of creating that adoption form and kind of floating it by the community, and then we can send that out. The second one,
Cool.
Thomas, do you mind if I take that one and kind of explain what that is? Are you cool with that, or do you want to add some color or anything?
I can do it if you want. No
Okay.
problem.
All you, sir.
It started with a simple idea. I want to add more outputs to Falco Sidekicks every time, but now as our user are more and more, I think we have to choose more wisely what output has to be implemented, because we need to be focused on what the people needs and not only what I think it's fun to add. So Pop had the idea to send to our users a survey about what outputs are currently used and what outputs people want. So for now, I've got less than 10 answers. So we'll wait, I think, until the next community meeting next Wednesday, and we discuss about results. But what I can say right now, it's Amazon S3 is the most wanted feature right now. We'll see next week what we can take.
It is very interesting, in my opinion, that S3 and it feels like Dan showed me a little bit of the results. In general, putting these in a bucket in some cloud, these results in a bucket in some cloud is the favorite, seems to be the favorite approach from the community. And I find it interesting because it looks a bit like the CloudTrail or the Cloud Logs, right? And it feels like, at least my interpretation is, people like to just store all this kind of stuff in a well-known place like a bucket in the cloud, probably for compliance and future reference and stuff like that. And they're probably looking for consistent ways that are like all similar in terms of how you store these outputs. So it almost looks like a quest for consistency, this CloudTrail request.
Awesome.
I can share the results with anybody.
Well,
just send me your email,
yeah,
and I will just share the
What I would ask everybody is to kind of amplify it. If you see that link, just send it out if you can. That would be great. Yeah. It benefits us all, right? To understand what folks are using and stuff. And I totally stole that from Thomas in terms of like the adopters thing like we're gonna do. But it's really useful to get a pulse because like we're all busy. Like getting to respond to, hey, what are you using is like it's if you could just check a box and it's literally 2 questions. What are you using? What would you like to see? To me, that's the simple survey. It takes 2 seconds and it's useful.
Absolutely agree.
Sounds good. Anything else on the Sidekick survey?
No.
Okay, so please amplify the Sidekick survey, and when a broader Falco survey comes out, please help with that as well. Leo, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. Since the Falco community is growing a lot and we need clear rules and clear governance, I spent like some time past week, probably Friday. Friday is always a bit lazy. Revamping the contributing guidelines and the governance guidelines that we already had about the Falco Security Organization. So it regards all the projects in the Falco Security Organization. The concept not changed, but basically I added points about projects not in C++, for example, project, because we have like things like Falco Sidekick, very successful projects in Go. And I added a section about the voting mechanism and between the maintainers in case conflicts arises. And so I just want to drop the link here and ask all of you to take a look, criticize it, comment it, express your thoughts about this document, because it's something that regards all of us. Also, I added a section about the contributor of the month, the initiative that Pop introduced. All those kind of things. So guidance on how to contribute, how to sign off the commits, why we ask that, why we ask something else, things like that.
I think it's what I like about this, and there's two reasons. One, it kind of states what's going on, but also somebody new coming in to help understand. I'm seeing that from a lot, like even from like Kubernetes, for instance. I'm like seeing that folks are pulling folks aside. Nikita, for instance, pulled aside folks and were like, here's how you contribute to things. I see us doing some of that in the future. Like, here's how you contribute to Falco, understanding where that is. And if we have a guideline like this, super useful for everyone.
In fact, it's organized in a way that's a part which is only about contributing. Then there are more advanced part about maintainership, which it's like the next level of contributing. For example, I also mentioned and linked the documentations about the Falco Infra, Pro Poiana, the bird that we have, our awesome bot, because often people in the past 2 years found them a bit of confusion on how to handle it, how to maybe interact with it. So now there are links that links back to the Poiana documentation where people can also learn how to help us triaging issues with /commands for Poiana, things like that, if they want.
Great job.
Very useful.
Thank you.
We want 100,000 francs. By the way, welcome Frank to the meeting. Good to have you, and welcome Ken Lavoie. By the way, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
Okay. Anything else on the contributing and governance pull request? Please take a look.
No, that's it on my side. That's it.
Okay, and then we've got this one from Leo and Leonardo. We've got archive the Kubernetes response engine. For anyone who wasn't around, the Kubernetes response engine was like the standard way to demo more complicated Falco a few years ago.
The issue is the 48, not 4.
What have I done? I've typed the wrong thing?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay. It's unmaintained since April. It doesn't have an owner's file. Doesn't have.
Yeah, basically there are several points that do not respect anymore how we are managing our projects. And in my opinion, the most important point is that there are security vulnerabilities and it's not maintained anymore. So at this point, I proposed to archive the project. Also because I believe that the same thing can be done with Falco Sidekick now. That's my opinion.
So yeah, in case anyone of you has something against archiving the project, we are going to archive it as proposed in this issue, because Grasso agrees, Thomas, Dan too. So if other maintainers here do not have anything against, we will proceed.
Yes.
Loris, I'm talking about you. You're the other maintainer here. Nothing against?
Go for it.
Okay.
I have to ask, sorry.
You have my blessing.
Okay. Amen.
And it's definitely worth noting. I mean, it's sort of mentioned here, but a big chunk of the work that's been gone on in the last couple months in Sidekick and the Helm chart stuff has been about providing another flow for this same type of behavior.
Exactly.
So great job to the team that did that.
And I think we're going to extend that out even deeper, right? So archiving that is just makes sense, right? Like getting more extensions, and that's why pretty shout out to Nichols, Scott, you know, some of the stuff he's doing with like Knative and some of the stuff we may do with like Lambda and other functions. I mean, this is just, you know, we're extending the capabilities beyond outputs to actions. And to me, actions are what drive like, okay, incident response, hey, we can do a certain thing. So love to see this driven from the community and see what we can do to grow this out even more deeply.
Okay. So that's it. Are there other agenda items people would like to discuss? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
No, not on my side. There's nothing. I mean, the past week can be pretty busy with libraries contributions and other things, other little things. But so on my side, we have nothing else.
Awesome. Okay.
I have nothing else.
I just want to know if it was discussed about having the packages for the debugging symbols.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, because I added the agenda a few weeks ago, but then I couldn't join the meeting. So.
Okay. Which day?
Can't really recall. But anyway, so the main thing is that there was a guy who had some issue, has a crash, and we are not distributing any packages with the debugging symbols. So I want to know, shall I open an issue? How do we proceed?
Yeah, well, theoretically, that should be the right path. You can open an issue, reference the other issues to explain why this need arise, and we can go from there. Because otherwise, now without much context, it becomes a bit difficult. But in generally, I agree with shipping other kinds of with packages with the bug symbols, but we have to discuss.
Yeah, I don't think there's any historical reason, correct me if I'm wrong, the Falco developers that we don't ship them other than we have never done it, right?
Yep.
So
in general, in system like Ubuntu or other system, you have the package and you might have the debugging symbols.
Yeah, I would use them personally.
Yep.
So I think it's something that yeah, if somebody wants to, I mean, let's start by opening the issue. If somebody wants to take it on, I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, right. I don't even know where the builds are done. The packages RPM.
Where the packages are done or where the packages are published?
No, build.
Build.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. In the CMake, in the main CMake, in the Falco root.
No, but probably is asking where's the CI/CD that makes the builds for the releases.
Here in this, at the moment, okay, I understood the question now. Sorry. So at the moment we are still using Circle CI for building the packages with that CMake I was mentioning before and pushing them to Bintray. We have an ongoing effort. I mean, Grasso has an ongoing effort to move them to the downloads.falco.org, which is hosted on S3, because Bintray is gonna get shut down on March or May, if I don't recall it wrong.
May.
So the mechanism can change, but at the moment that mechanism is in the .circleci directory. In
the infra we are seeing, or is the
nope Falco.
All right, Falco.
In the Falco.circleci, here.
Yeah,
here if you search for /packages or /package, something like that, I don't remember the name. Package. Okay, go. Yeah, here we build the package. We prepare the artifacts, moving the package in the look here, line 4041, and then basically we use some Circle CI features to host them. And then we have other jobs that runs after this succeeds to publish them to Bintray.
All right. Okay, anyway, open issue and then we'll see. Move on.
There's definitely a whole build train that builds like the static binaries. Maybe you could just copy paste that one, right? Because you maybe don't need a package, maybe you just need like a Docker image. All right, anything else we want to talk about? Hey everybody, thanks for coming along. Who wants to MC the next call?
Ken Lavoie. Come on, Ken.
Sorry, buddy, I can't commit to that one just yet.
This is the part where Dan just calls people out.
I just guilt people every week. I guilt people. That's what I do.
People putting the camera off at the when the call reaches this moment.
Okay, I will do one more. How about that? Is that easy?
Yeah, sounds good.
When's the next release?
As Thomas said, your velvet voice. We need it. We need the velvet.
I think he was talking about you, my friend. When's the next release? It's gotta be like March or something, right?
Next release is middle March or something like that. 18th.
18th, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Cool.
And
all right, thanks everybody.
And we may release the UI next week too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The UI release for the UI next week with Frank.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.